Hello, everybody, and good afternoon, and welcome to another brand new episode of Learning Series by Juno School of Business. I'm sure by now you guys know that this is a platform wherein we discuss skills that will aid your corporate journey to make you better sales professionals. We all know that sales is one of the most rewarding careers that one can undertake, and at Juno School, it is our endeavor to shape better sales professionals for tomorrow. In fact, salespeople are the ones who actually drive business for every organization and significantly contribute to revenue generation. More such a human desire for each one of us to grow in our lives could be personal, professional, and that growth can actually happen if you're able to sell yourself to people. That could be in a job interview, a campus selection, or maybe selling ideas to people for that matter. So the crux is the better we sell, the more we grow in life. Now, the irony here is that sales is the most widely used skill, however, not taught in any school or college in a structured format. At Juno School, it is our endeavor to bridge this gap, actually, if you see, through interactive online sessions with industry experts, live activities, practice sessions, detailed lectures, and of course, training sessions that we've customized in an 8-week module. Now, these webinars that we do are a routine feature, and you can be part of them every Saturday between 12 to 1. So if you want to gain insights on sales and are interested in building a great sales career, do block your calendars for every Saturday and be part of these learning journeys. You can also know more about us at junoschool.org or always schedule a chat with us at hello@junoschool.org. Now, let me tell you something interesting. Building an online brand is very critical these days, right? And a lot of entrepreneurs are actually focusing on this. So today we have our guest speaker, Rana. Rana is the founder and CEO of Dogspot Meals. Now, during his corporate journey, he's worked with organizations like Aircel, IBPO, Times Internet Group. Today, he's going to share his experiences and insights on how do you build a great online consumer brand. Thank you so much, Rana, for taking out time and that too over the weekend to be a part of the Juno community. I welcome you on board. And guys, any questions that you have, anything that you would want to ask, please feel free to use the chat box or you can raise your virtual hands and I will help you ask questions and directly interact with Rana. So Rana, all over to you and welcome once again.
Sorry. Hi, Himadri. Hi.
Hi.
Just a moment. I'll start my video also.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, I'll just switch off the light at the back.
Sure. No worries. So guys, so please sparkle out your questions and you can always put them on the chat box or you can raise your virtual hands and we will help you ask your question.
Okay, cool. Very nice. Himadri, I will like to keep it very open for people to ask questions also, whether they want to ask in between. And I will go topic by topic. I have not created very detailed slide format.
Sure.
But topics is what I will show. And before we do that, I would like to tell everybody that I have dabbled around in online mostly, and started as a content community expert. I started my job as a product manager for internet companies. Then when I started my career, which was without a job career, that means entrepreneurship, I did content community, then e-commerce like a marketplace. And then we launched a lot of products, and now we are just micro focusing on one product category. And that's it's been mostly online, like 80% online. We have dabbled around a little bit on offline as well, while it is not a natural fit for us doing business offline, just because we're not we do not have that DNA, but at the same time would like to touch a little bit offline, like where are the points where we need to understand offline a little bit, why online is important over offline and where offline is important over online. So that those are some things. I have about 5-6 topics to cover, not too much, but we can actually take people's questions as
Sure.
we move forward and probably do more Q&A, right?
Yeah.
So give me a second. I'll just bring up the slides. Yeah, are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, absolutely. We can see the slides.
Cool. So that's why I said that we'll try to compare in between with online and offline, because it is about building online first. So even if you see the name, we are saying that we're not saying that it is only online, right? So it is online first consumer brand. That means we are already saying that it is not. We will start with online and probably go to offline as we move forward in the journey, right? So not number one thing which I have seen people struggling or making a mistake is the category and product. So lot of people, when I speak to them, one of the biggest problem I see that the category which they have chosen or the product which they have chosen is not something which will fly online. So that is one of the criteria where people maybe out of passion or maybe out of background, just because they knew about this category very very well, and they just do it, and then when they start selling it online they realize that the product does not have a fit for the online market. So I'll give you some examples here. So for example, let's say I am a pharmaceutical company, and then I want to dabble around in a product which is an OTC product, like on the counter sales product. And then I prepared something which is a pain relief product, and I want to go on only online with that product. Now the problem is that if you look at the category, most of the products are around 100 rupees, 200 rupees. That is the range, right? So if we go out in the market and we buy a Volini, or we want to buy any pain relief spray or product, then the problem is the thing is that you'll be able to get it around 100 200 rupees maximum. Now in that, as soon as you start looking at online as a category, what happens is that uh, we will have to, one is that we will have to have the margins to get the product marketed very very well. On top of it, we will need margins to do the logistics, warehousing, and returns, etc. and etc. Now, even if 100 rupees, let's say, let's just assume that 100 rupees is the product price, or maybe 200 rupees is the product price and 100 rupees is the margin. So if you want to sell it on Amazon or any other platform, see, 50 to 50, 60 rupees will easily go in the logistics, pick, pack, ship, dispatch, and deliveries and the warehousing cost. And then, Amazon will take some commission also, and you'll have to spend something in marketing also. Wherein, you will very quickly say that then there are some other products which are getting sold in this category anyways. So when we look at other categories, what is other products in the same category, what is happening is these products are they're on these platforms just for the sake of marketing, because they have got huge offline presence. So they're selling offline very very well just for the sake of marketing. Some large companies, they are listing and investing a lot of money on marketing. So they are not concerned about how much sales will come online, because their offline world is so big that the online world will have only 1-2% contribution, maybe 5% contribution, which does not move a needle for them. But they take these platforms as the as a main marketing medium, because everybody happens to be there, and they want to capture some eyeballs there. So when we are choosing the product pricing of, or the product category pricing should be good enough for people, for you to make sales online. So you should understand what is the weight of the product, how much will be the logistics, how much fees Amazon will take for managing the inventory, how much will be pick, pack, dispatch, and all these variable costs needs to be taken care of. That is point number one. Another thumb rule is that the lot of people, when they choose the product and they start looking at the margins ki cost kitni hogi product ki वगैरह वगैरह, they start looking at the cost as one of the parameters of the product, as to at what price it will get sold. So that has to one is the cost, definitely, and the other side is um, uh, the uh, the market side also. So if the market is executing at maybe 150 rupees and your product is around 50 rupees at cost, then you can actually sell it at around 200 rupees also. Like we will come in detail to that topic also about the pricing. But the point here is that the product category and the product has to be chosen keeping in mind that online sales margins should be supportive of the margins your product is getting and the price it is getting. Maybe it's a 100 rupees product, but logistics minimum payment is like 50 rupees. They will not go maybe less than that, maybe 40 rupees. So you need to be very, very clear that what category and product you are choosing. So in an ideal scenario, I would say that the product pricing should be around 1500 rupees. That's a fair risk mitigated option to adopt, wherein you are able to give the variable cost and have some margins for doing some marketing also. Some products do fly at around 500 also, but then we need to check that how big is the product, like what is the volume of the product, what is the weight of the product, and these things should be kept in mind before we get into it. So when we at Dogspot, when we moved from being only the marketplace to become a product company, and we started doing about 300-400 products in our own brand, then we realized that there were certain products which are not doing very well from the bottom line, like profitability point of view, and then we had to keep culling them because they were not making any sense. Let's say if for example, dog shampoo, right? It's a 1 liter bottle and the cost is about 200-300 rupees. Then it will not make sense because logistics of 1 kg bottle will be very, very high. I mean, logistics company usually work with 500 gram slots or 250 gram slots. One of the best categories, what I have seen is, mobile accessories, very high value, very small size, very low in weight, and people pay for the designs and utility, etc., and it works very well. In our category, in the pets category, dog food is premium dog food is one of the categories where it works very well, sells at a very, very high price. It is bulky, but still we are able to have that margin to support it. But if I start looking at a very low price dog food, then it does not work. Actually, the first bubble got burst in the US about in the IT market happened just because of a company called pets.com, wherein they completely got burst because the logistics cost was higher than the margins and they could not survive. So I'm talking, I think, somewhere in 2000 something. But so be very, very sure that what category and product we are going for, and that product and category should have margins. Okay, so I'm assuming there are some people who come from business background, have MBAs or BBA degrees. Himadri, is that the case here? People will know.
We have people who come from that background.
Okay. Anybody who does not understand what is 4 Ps of marketing, I can, probably explain that.
I think if you feel, I think if you want to do it, please do it, because there may be some people who may not know all of this.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
I'll give a quick one. So 4 Ps of marketing are basically, when you start marketing any product, so you need to be aware about 4 Ps. Number one is product. Number two is price. Number three is promotions, and number four is placement, right? So these are 4 Ps of marketing. Now, to make any product work in any market, all these 4 Ps should be in sync. People who might have um, uh, done study in management, they might know 4 Ps of marketing. And when we write about 4 Ps of marketing in exam, it is very, very easy that, the product fit should be there. There should be a need of the product and what need it is solving. That should be there. It should be the right pricing, at what price you're launching. And so there is a lot of theory around it, and there are a lot of strategies around it, and you can rectify and pass in the exam. But to get all these 4 Ps of marketing to work together is the most difficult thing when you launch a product, whether that is offline or online. In the offline world, the feedback loop is very, very long. So it takes some time and you get some time to, fine tune it. But in the online world, you get the feedback very, very quickly. Now, the product, first of all, let's say, we have identified a product. Okay, this is the product and there is this need and we are going to solve this need. Now, the second step is the pricing. As soon as we start talking about pricing in practical sense, what I have seen, our mind completely goes on the cost side. And we keep thinking, okay, मैं 100 रुपए का बना रहा हूँ, 200 रुपए का बेचूंगा, and 100 rupees is my margin. So 100 rupees manufacturing cost, and 200 rupees and 100 rupees I will earn. So that is the very basic calculation. But, we sometimes when we launch, we completely forget that pricing is also associated with the branding of the product. That means that, if you have a very good product and you brand it, you want to get into the premium market and you price it at a lower side, then it won't fly. But, and if you have, and other way around also, that, you have an inferior product wherein you want to go to the masses and you price it very, very high, then also it will not work. And in this whole situation, lot of people and entrepreneurs especially, where they want to, do the magic, they come up with an idea that what I will do is that I will have a premium product. It is the best quality product, but I will not, price it high. I will just price it a little less than the highest, or maybe in the middle. And I will not go to the lowest also because I cannot afford it, right? So what they're trying to create is something called affordable luxury, right? Which does not actually exist from the consumer mindset. And I can give you endless examples on that. A lot of people I've seen, keep struggling and keep saying that, my product is the best product. ये सब कुछ सबसे बढ़िया है. We do not, but we have priced it not very, very high. Now you're not actually branding the product right because the pricing is lower. So what the customer will think, oh, ये तो सस्ता है. So sometimes, the customer thinks that the best value, best products, they come at higher price. And that is the mindset which, customer has. And also what I have seen is that if you price it high, then the customer at least have that question in his mind that, okay, why is this product very, very high? Why is it not, lesser priced? And then it is the time to market our product even more, where we can say that it is, high price because it has got this quality. And this is a perpetual problem. I have seen it with so many entrepreneurs that, ask them, is your product the best in the class? They will say, yes, it is the best in the class. Ask them that, is it solving a real problem? Yes, it is solving the real problem. And how do you see yourself compared to XYZ brand, which is already existing in the market and doing something similar like you? They usually say that we are better than that. So let's say pain relief. So this friend of mine who launched pain relief products, they said that our product is better than any other pain relief product in the market. Because so और जल्दी कम होता है, and ये technologies है, these are new things we have done with the product, lot of innovation which has happened, and but they were not pricing it right. They said that we will put it a little cheaper than the market so that more people buy it, but it does not happen like that. It's a myth. People will start building the brand in their mind by looking at what your product is doing and at what price it is getting sold. And for example, if I tell you that there is a Bose product available, brand new, I will give for 2,000 rupees. People won't believe it. If I say that I can give you a iPhone ke AirPods for 3,000 rupees, the latest model. कई बार we go to these markets and sometimes somebody will come and say ये Ray-Ban का चश्मा ले लो 200 रुपए में. I mean, we know that it is not Ray-Ban because he is lying because he cannot sell a Ray-Ban or AirPods at that price, and we generally don't buy. Some people might still buy thinking that it is Ray-Ban, but as they get more mature in the market, I mean, people understand. They start understanding that this is a scam. So pricing is very, very important. So the product, if it is solving some real problem, if it is premium, then the pricing has to be done according to the customer's point of view, not only from the cost point of view. Cost is one major consideration, and the other thing. Now there are the third thing is the placement, right? So now we need to figure out that how do we place this product in different places so that the product starts flying. So very, very less products, you will see that they cut all different types of labels. So one example is Amul, wherein it is cheap, it is good product, they produce good product, and you'll find in 5-star hotels as well as small restaurants. But with and that those are some legendary products, and same happens for Old Monk, same happened for Kingfisher. But not many brands are in that category where it is not highly priced, but it is still carried as a premium product. And these rare products which I'm talking about, these are known as the legendary product. They have created some kind of a legacy, and which takes a lot of time and energy to build. So what I'm trying to say here is that placement of product is again very, very important. That if you are selling a premium product, then it has to be placed in a premium way. I mean, it has to be sold in a very, very particular way. You need to probably define that. For example, OnePlus has started doing that. This product is not even available. You will have to book, or you will have to ask somebody to get an invite. So there is a they have placed it in a way that it is difficult to get, and they're trying to create that hype using the placement angle kind of a thing. And the fourth one is the promotion, where how much discounting are you be giving? Will you ever give any discounting? Or what type of marketing will you do? What type of spends on marketing will you do? So all these four things, when they come in the sync and they start working and helping each other, and they're all connected to each other. Like if you start doing too much of discounting, people will think that this is non-premium product. If you do not do discounting, then people will say that ये तो बहुत महंगा है, मुझे नहीं खरीदना है. So how do we do that strategy of all these things is very, very important. So it is applicable for online as well as offline. But in online, the whole placement and the promotional things kind of changes. What type of platforms are you choosing to promote your product? That is different. So for example, if I have a very, very new brand, which if I put it on, and it is highly premium because it is for good life, and it is sustainable, and it is for green thing and all that. So there are some specific platforms where you can keep your product, and if you put it on Amazon, you will not be able to market to the right people. Similarly, there are some luxury product categories where they do not, these product companies, they do not put their product on Amazon. They usually put it on on Tata Clicks or places like those. So that is with the placement in the online world. Okay. Any questions so far? Anyone? Cool. I'll move to the next slide. Okay, so traditional versus online. So number one thing, people, I have interacted a lot of companies which are traditional companies, and during the COVID times, they wanted to get online. One of the very, very major change I had to do is to make them understand that who is your customer. So there is a dog food company who used to do only offline business, and they started doing online during the COVID times, and they kept telling me that our customers are giving us this feedback, that feedback, and all those feedbacks were not making sense for me as an expert on the category. So after 2-3 meetings, when I kept plucking here from my head that to try to understand that why are they saying this, I asked them that who is the customer. So he said people who buy from us. I said, who is buying from you? Then he said retailers. So, all the pet shop, they were giving him the feedback. And so that means, there was a difference between his customers and the consumer of the product. The consumer of the product was not even connected. So all the mathematics they were doing, that was all the feedback and everything which they were doing, that was not the right customer set. So in online world, as soon as you come, your customer and your consumer are the same. Wherein in the offline world, they might be different. I mean, uh, wherein your customer might be a shop or a distributor, and but in the online world, you are directly exposed to the consumer. So the kind of feedbacks which you will get will be very, very different. So keep that always in your mind, that in case you are ever dealing with a company which is offline very, very heavy, and they want to turn into online, then you need to figure out that um who are they calling their customer as. So that is very, very important. Second thing is that the way the whole traditional companies versus online companies, the whole packaging of the product is done has to be a little different. Not different, but has to be kept in mind that the people are going to read the stuff online. They will see the product online. So if we have a product which is completely round, the front photo will not be so much visible. So the stickering and everything has to be taken care of. If the product boxes are, if there is a box of the product, then we need to see, then it is easier for you to display in an online world versus an offline world. So on offline world, even if it is round, it is easy for people to pick and read around it. But in an online world, they cannot pick and move it around unless and until we go to a level that we produce 3D images and we are able to move it around, which is more difficult thing to do. So has to be even the packaging has to be taken into account. Um, uh, so that has to be taken into account, and we need to understand that the cost of selling offline versus online are kind of different. In the traditional business, what we usually do, we do some marketing wherein there are hoardings, there are paper mein humne ad nikal diya. We do some branding at the shops. We put some stickers, some pamphlets, and sometimes we put some brand ambassadors around, uh, and the product is getting sold through a supply sales and distribution channel, which is we give it to a distributor give it to retailer, and retailer give it to consumers. Now, there is a lot of cost of the channel. That means you are giving some percentage to the distributor, you are giving some percentage to the retailer, and the marketing which you are doing is not direct consumer. There is direct consumer marketing, but it is not something which you can measure. So as soon as we start looking online, we need to understand that there will be a cost of the sales and distribution here also. A lot of people think that online में मेरे को ये retailer को कुछ नहीं देना पड़ेगा, मेरे को ये distributor को नहीं देना पड़ेगा. But in online the marketing cost is very high to start with. Also, there is a cost of logistics, cost of management, of the whole delivery, dispatch, and managing the customer base also. So that a lot of people miss, and they do miscalculations when they compare online to offline. Another thing is that when we do marketing online, we can measure every penny spent. If I am spending some money, whether am I getting some orders through it or not. If I am doing it in traditional business, then I cannot do it. So it is good. But at the same time, I have seen a lot of companies doing a lot of marketing in the offline world, but as soon as they come online, they start saying, okay, इतना मैंने खर्च किया, तो मेरे को मिला कितना? लेकिन ऐसे नहीं होता है. मतलब you need to understand that we'll do a better work here to get your revenues in online world, but it is not like that you start comparing it on day one. Just because now that you have a tool to start comparing, to start calculating every penny spent and what is happening because of that, that does not mean that there will not be some marketing spends here. So those are some of the changes between the traditional business and offline business. Now, why does it make sense to go online first? Couple of things, right? Number one thing is that it is very important to get your consumer feedback directly. So at an early stage, when you're just about launching your product in an online world, you are directly connected with the consumers, and you are able to get their feedbacks very well. Very quickly, you can change the product, you can change the pricing, you can do a lot of stuff. So number one thing from the 4 P's of marketing, now going back to there, to do the correct market fit of the pricing and the product. If you have to make any changes, it is very easy to do online. So at an early stage, it helps a lot to stabilize the product. Number two is that you need to you spend whatever money you spend, at least you know what is happening with that money. So it is said that it is easier to build the brand and reach out the consumers and create a consumer pull more efficiently online than offline. So that is what why we say that online is a better medium. If there is a product fit in the category fit for online business, then you will spend lesser money to build the brand, and you will be able to get direct feedback from the consumer, right? So that is that is why the online first is a better one. Sorry, I missed one point in the traditional versus online discussion. The slide. The many times people think that online will save me money because I'm not giving money to the channel. But yes, it will happen at one point in time. But at the same time, we completely forget that there is a huge cost to manage the consumers directly. That means that you will have to have a proper customer services mindset. In the traditional business, the consumer complaints are usually coming to the retailers. They're not coming directly to you. In an online, driven business, consumers can directly call you. They will, expect a better service from you. So what happens at the retailer store? That one is that he is providing the product. Also he is providing some kind of a trust and the service. You're going to the shop which is next door, and you talk to that person. He will say, "Koi problem ho jayegi, aap le aana mere paas." I will take care of the servicing part. I will take care of all other things. And But in the online world, they will keep coming back to you. So if you are building an online product company or online sales company, then the thing is that you need to have a very strong servicing mindset also. So we internally, we call ourselves as a product, which we are online first product company. We call ourselves that we are more into servicing than just products. We're just one product with different variations. But the only differentiator which we bring on the table, the way we service our clients. So that is that lot of people, kind of miss out. And there is a cost of doing the service, and there is a cost of managing them also. I think someone is asking a question. Sachin, is that a question? Yeah. Hi, Sachin. There is a hand raised by you. Do you want to ask a question?
Yeah. Hi, sir. This is Sachin. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, definitely.
There are some 2-3 points I have disagreement on the statements what has been sharing to us. One related to the online and offline. So there are the point number one. Still, offline market is there for more than 50%. Still, offline market is there, if I'm not wrong. And second one, the second thought process. The whatever I'm saying, this could be another way wrong also. Second one, the local people encouragement to do the business in offline, we could be missing it, because being a brand, we should also encourage the people in offline. So that is a second one. Third one, even in online, being if it is a smaller category, if it is a new brand, how do we build up ourselves? How do we scale up ourselves in online, which is difficult, because there are only the big mammoths are there in online platform like an Amazon and Flipkart. Being in an Amazon, Flipkart, if we are going with an Amazon and Flipkart, definitely our cost of or we should give them a we should have a good deal or a good pricing, discounted pricing. And where in offline we shall manage it. When it comes to the services, I think the services should be similar for both the side, for even for offline customers or online customers, because here if you are looking for a B2C kind of business, then definitely the consumers, they will be having a similar kind of approach and similar kind of connected with the brand. So these are the four thought process which is there in with me. So I don't know whether it
Yeah. So I'll answer them as a whole. Number one thing is, are we saying that we should not do offline business? No. Right. So I started the whole presentation from slide 1. I said that we are just saying that why online first, right? So you are 100% right, and it is not 50%. In many categories, it is 90%. Offline world is far more bigger than the online world. Still, it is far more bigger. In the US, I think Amazon reached about 27% during the COVID times. And in India, it is still very low. I think it is about maybe 5 to 10% penetration. So we will definitely have to do offline. Definitely. I mean, if you want to build the company bigger, then there is no way you can avoid offline. So point number one, I want to make myself very clear that this whole discussion is not about that we should not do offline. We should do offline. Number two is that when you do the offline world, you will have to sell it through the retailers. If you are a product company and your product is a physical product, you cannot sell directly to the consumer, because the consumer will not come to your place to buy it. So you will have to reach where the customer is. So getting in touch with the customer straightforward in the first go is not very much possible. It takes a lot of time for you to build the brand offline and to get maybe in touch with 100, 200, 500 customers to get their feedback and do the corrective measures in the new company, or what is happening with the product offline. It's a very long loop. I'll tell you some examples. So आपने एक product दिया market में, मान लो उसका pull बन गया है, and you are giving 10% margin to the retailer. Now the retailer will come back to you and say that it is not moving. You need to give me more margins so that I can discount it and give it to the customer. Okay, आपने कहा ठीक है 5% discount में बढ़ा देता हूँ. Whether that retailer is giving that 5% more margin from his offline shop to the end consumer or not, you do not know. At least online, you know exactly what is happening to the end consumer. So, that is point number 2, that it is easier for you to get consumer feedback directly. Right? Third, which is last but not the least, from the marketing point of view. See, marketing, you said that, offline is cheaper. Maybe, there is no way you can compare because offline में तो मेजर ही नहीं कर सकते ना. आपने होर्डिंग लगा दिया, कितने लोगों ने वो होर्डिंग देखा या कितने लोगों ने वो होर्डिंग नहीं देखा, वो तो पता ही नहीं है ना. मतलब that is where the issue is, that it is completely non-measurable. So let's say हमने एक प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किया, वो मैंने कहीं किसी चीज को स्पॉन्सर किया और प्रोडक्ट अवेलेबल कहीं और है, वो इम्पैक्ट आया या नहीं आया मुझे पता ही नहीं है. So that is where the issue is, that in the marketing side, it has been said again and again that the cost of marketing is lower on the online always, because you can optimize it, you can manage it, versus offline world. However, the cost of servicing the customer is more. Customer services will be more. Customer will come and like to talk to the brand directly. तो आपको कोई ना कोई लोग लगाने पड़ेंगे, आपको टाइम देना पड़ेगा बात करने के लिए कस्टमर को. Now coming to practical side, that online आप दो तरह से बेच सकते हो. आपने Amazon की बात करी, मार्केट प्लेसेस की बात करी. मार्केट प्लेसेस में जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है आपका बेचने का, अगर आप मार्केट प्लेसेस में बेचते हैं तो भले ही आप मेहमत कंपनी से वो फाइट कर रहे हो वहां पे, बट यू कैन स्टिल फाइंड योर कस्टमर्स. आई मीन देयर आर सो मेनी ब्रांड्स इन लास्ट आई थिंक 3-4 years I have seen building just on Amazon or Flipkarts of the world, wherein small companies have been able to build these brands. बहुत मतलब कैटेगरीज इतनी वास्ट हैं, आप बहुत सारी चीजें बिल्ड कर सकते हो, और आई डोंट थिंक कि वो ज्यादा ऑफलाइन से ज्यादा कॉस्टली हो जाएगा. मतलब ऑफलाइन में तो पता नहीं कितनी ब्रांड्स आती हैं, कितनी चली जाती हैं, और आपको ज्यादा पैसा चाहिए होता है. मतलब अगर आप सेल्स एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन भी लगाओगे, आपको अगर प्रोडक्ट की इन्वेंट्री आप 100 दुकान पे रखना चाहते हो और आप 100 पीस भी रखना चाहते हो, तो 10,000 कितने पीस हो गए, 100 × 100 10,000 पीस हो गए, तो आपकी इन्वेंट्री में ही पैसे फंसे रहेंगे. फिर उसकी रिकवरी करनी पड़ेगी आपको जाके. तो वो जो ऑफलाइन की साइकिल है ना, वो ज्यादा एफिशिएंट नहीं है. ऑनलाइन साइकिल इज मोर एफिशिएंट, बट टू गेन स्केल व्हेन यू हैव सम मनी इन द पॉकेट and you want to gain scale, yes, offline will definitely work. So that is has been my experience, and I hope that answers your question. Or
Yes, sir. Most of the questions answered. See, I work for in Samsung, so there are some BTL activities and ETL activities. So I do know and some little bit experience in the online also. So see, though my experience is with an electronic industry, so the product and placements where I am looking, which is I connected with an basically electronics industry. So on that basis, whatever the question has been raised related to the
white
similar
goods
industry.
white goods में काफी मुश्किल है, जब तक डीप पॉकेट्स नहीं होंगे ऑनलाइन करना बहुत मुश्किल है.
Yeah, because here even in the cost of acquisition is also get differs from.
हाँ, लेकिन एसेसरीज चलती है ना ऑनलाइन.
Yeah, accessories online, even offline market is bigger in accessories. So even margin get differs in online. Here in accessories, the offline has a better than the online, because the pricing is cheaper in offline rather than the online. Or the online prices are higher side.
Yeah.
So there are both the way there is a cause and problems there, because of the So I'm not denying. So offline is, according to me, offline is also much important than the online, because both in India, I think in India, especially for India business, on offline has a big opportunity where we can expand the business, the sizable business we can do it, because the ones here, what I feel, the trust factor is very important for the consumers and consumers.
Sir,
Once the trust factor built, because I've seen that there are many local brands are doing a very good numbers because instead of regional brand, regional nationally, if I can see national brand instead of national brand, local brands are doing very better than the national brands. So that's what I can say.
yeah. So we cannot ignore offline. Only thing is that online में आप कम इन्वेस्ट करके शुरू कर सकते हो, थोड़ा थोड़ा सीख सकते हो, और फिर उसके बाद आप ऑफलाइन में डाल सकते हो. That is, that has been working for a lot of companies who are starting up. But अगर आपकी traditionally very very strong company है, तो online तो केवल marketing का जरिया है. मतलब there all you want is to show people that we are here also, right? और business तो offline ही होता है. I completely agree with you. Yeah. हाँ जी, मनीष आप कुछ पूछ रहे हैं. Manish Katwani.
Yeah, so Rana, Hemant has a question. He's raised his hand for quite some time. So Hemant, why don't you go ahead and ask your question?
Yeah.
Hemant, you there?
Yeah, hi, I'm there.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, Rana, Hemant here.
Hi.
So as I was, I just, saw the conversation. Just wanted to check, Rana, when you mentioned deep pockets, what do you mean by that? Because, what I'm thinking right now is that I'm already working in a company and I want to start something in the real estate as, my own thing simultaneously, because then I'll keep on saving with my salary or whatever, and then, I can fetch that money and probably invest into online, offline, whatever it is in real estate. So if I start with a digital campaign, initially it's somewhere close to around 2 lakh, 3 lakh kind of a thing, where I'm expecting 150, 200 kind of inquiry. But I'm not getting that confidence whether this leads will get converted into sales or not, because I feel crazy competition out there in the market. And should I save like 15, 20 lakh and should start doing it? Because right now I'm having just a saving of 5 lakh. Should I start it right now? This is the right time to start my own thing as a channel partner, real estate channel partner, or should I wait?
So, Hemant, what online can actually help you is to get the right leads, and it will take a lot of fine tuning to reach there.
Sure.
So what you are saying is that, I will get leads from online. So you need to understand real estate में localization भी होगा, किस geography में किस type का बंदा हमें target करना है, जो कि आराम से 1 महीना ले जा सकता है. अब जो चिकन एंड एग स्टोरी यहाँ पे ये है कि अगर हम ऑप्टिमाइज करने के लिए पैसा खर्च नहीं कर सकते, तो हमारे सिस्टम जो भी हम प्लेटफॉर्म यूज कर रहे हैं एडवर्टाइजमेंट के लिए, उसके पास इतना डेटा ही नहीं होगा कि वो ऑप्टिमाइज कर पाए अपने आप को. तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, जो मार्केटिंग का, इसीलिए मैंने स्लाइड निकाला, मार्केटिंग में हम गलती क्या करते हैं ऑनलाइन में, जस्ट बिकॉज वी कैन मेजर एवरीथिंग, व्हाट वी ट्राई टू डू इज दैट वी से दैट अच्छा थोड़ा थोड़ा खर्च करके देखते हैं, अगर कुछ आएगा तो मैं और पैसा लगा दूंगा.
राइट.
उसमें लोग क्या करते हैं, कहते हैं 1000 रुपए खर्च करते हैं, चलो रोज 2000 रुपए खर्च करते हैं, राइट? बट द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट you need to go all in. You need to believe that this will work. If you do not have that conviction that this will work, don't do it, right? अगर आपको जरा सा भी शक है तो आप लोगों से, और मतलब जैसे आप मेरे से बात कर रहे हो, आप 1-to-1 भी बात कर सकते हो, और बहुत सारे एक्सपर्ट से बात कर सकते हो, डिजिटल मार्केटिंग करते हैं. Build that conviction and go all in, right? Do not do it on the digital side कि वो half heartedly होएगा ही नहीं. मतलब वो आप करोगे कि 500 रुपए आज लगा कर देखता हूँ, चलो आज 1000 रुपए लगा देता हूँ, some days are good, some days are bad, but the system works on big data. Then the system needs to understand that what type of people are converting, what type of people are doing some clicks on the page, how many people are coming and staying and not clicking, and वो सारी चीजें फाइन ट्यून करते करते अगर आप बहुत मेहनत करोगे तो 1 महीना लगता है. एक महीने में अगर आपने 5,000 रुपए भी पर डे खर्च किए तो 1.5 लाख रुपए का खर्चे की बात कर रहे हैं,
Right.
राइट? सो आपको पहले महीने में ही 1 लाख रुपए का बजट बना के चलना पड़ेगा, और फिर वो देखना पड़ेगा कि इस स्पेसिफिक ज्योग्राफी में कितने लोगों को हम दिखाएंगे, तो कितने क्लिक्स आएंगे और कितनी लीड जनरेट होगी। ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद ये देखना पड़ेगा कि वो लीड जो जनरेट कर रहा हूँ वो वेरीफाइड लीड जनरेट कैसे कर सकता हूँ मैं। फिर
Exactly.
उसके बाद वो
That is the
लीड,
main point, I think so.
या सो वो फाइन ट्यून करना पड़ता है, और फिर तीसरे लेवल पे आके आप उसके पीछे जब लीड आ गई तो अब उसको आगे कैसे बढ़ाऊंगा, वो तो ऑफलाइन प्रोसेस है आपकी।
Yeah.
तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, डॉग फूड में हम लोग सैंपल्स बांटते हैं लोगों को, उसके बाद सब कुछ ऑफलाइन है। मतलब मैं कई बार एडवर्टाइज कर देता हूँ कि फ्री सैंपल ले लो मेरे से। मेरे पास 1,000 लोग आ गए जिन्होंने मेरे से सैंपल ले लिए। अब मैंने उनको वेरीफाई करा लिया, अपने डॉग की फोटो डालो, अपने डॉग के बारे में ये बताओ वो बताओ, तो इसका मतलब है उसके पास डॉग। Now
Right.
to convert that person from free sampling, now I've got a lead, which is a verified lead, right? Who has got my trial pack also. To get that person to start buying from me month on month is a pure conversion assisted sales process.
Right.
वो तो उसका ऑनलाइन से कोई मतलब नहीं होता। मतलब we just need to create a good CRM, keep calling the customers, keep asking the questions, right? So that is how I feel about it. Whether you will be able to get good number of leads online, yes you will. आप कह रहे हो कि काफी कंपटीशन भी होता है, हाँ होता है, लेकिन वो बड़ा ही ज्योग्राफी लिमिटेड कंपटीशन होता है। वो नीश
Yeah.
फाइंड करते करते ना, वो डेटा से खेल खेल के पता लगेगा। हो सकता है कोई यूएस में बैठ के आपके एरिया में करना चाह रहा हो इन्वेस्ट,
Correct.
है ना? तो
Correct.
वो लॉन्ग टेल को थोड़ा पकड़ना पड़ता है, लेकिन टाइम लगता है। मतलब जब तक आपके पास
So,
you should have enough money, at least 2 lakh rupees to burn
yeah.
very quickly, right? If you will say कि नहीं मैं धीरे धीरे चलाऊंगा तो नहीं होगा ही नहीं।
So I feel, sorry, I mean, I'm taking a little long. It's just the last thing which I wanted to clear. So it's just that I've got 7 years real estate experience. So I thought I can leverage that. Simultaneously, I've just changed my industry right now. I'm getting into sports media. That's got nothing to do with real estate anymore. So are you suggesting, along with job, I should not start this? As you mentioned that you need to be all in.
No,
So,
from the money point of view I meant that जब हम पैसा खर्च करने पे आते हैं ना, तो ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए कि
yeah.
चल 100 रुपए लगा कर देखता हूँ, कल थोड़ा 200
Oh,
लगा देंगे।
oh, that has to be consistently, you are saying.
That has to be consistent, and then has to be मतलब we'll have to check the whole category and everything. बट ऑनलाइन जब हम प्रोडक्ट सेल करते हैं अमेजोन वगैरह पे, तो 4-5 हजार रुपए दिन का जब तक खर्च ना हो तब
Right.
तक आप ऑप्टिमाइज कर नहीं सकते। तो पहला प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि पैसा खर्च होना चाहिए। जब 5,000 रुपीज पर डे खर्च होने लगे, उसके बाद आप उसको कंट्रोल भी कर सकते हो, लेकिन वो पहले तो वो 5,000 रुपए खर्च करना ही मुश्किल काम होता है।
Right. So this will be not Amazon. This will be 99 acres or anything like that. Where I'll be paying 3 lakh
I
rupees or
understand.
something.
Yeah, I understand that. But you should have. I would say that if you want to do it part time, you can do it part time. But you have to have that conviction that this will work,
Right.
and इतना मैं पैसा खर्च करूंगा इसमें।
Sure.
Right?
Okay. Thank you, Rana.
Manish Khatwani. Sorry.
Yeah, so Rana, in fact, Gauri had a question long back. She's put it on the chat, so I'll ask her to first ask her question, and then we'll go to Manish.
Mhm.
Gauri, you there? You can ask your question, please. I think Gauri is not there.
Yes, no, I'm here.
Okay,
I
sure.
just wanted
Please
to
go ahead.
understand. See, we are into cyber security business.
Right.
So how do we market ourselves into online business, and how effective it can be? So I wanted to understand that.
So you provide services, right?
Yes.
So what we were talking just now about generation of the lead and creating a very good CRM is what you can do. So लीड जनरेट हो जाती है ऑनलाइन, मतलब इतना लीड आ जाती है कि आप सर्विस, मतलब आपकी जो टीम है वो लीड्स को लेके और फिर उनको क्वालिफाई आप करा सकते हो। सो यू कैन एडवर्टाइज ऑन लिंक्डइन, यू कैन एडवर्टाइज ऑन गूगल। दीज आर 2 मेजर platforms. The art there is that what are you targeting to advertise? That is number one thing. Number two is that when they come on your website where you ask them to fill the form, that page has to be very, very nicely done. When I'm saying that nicely done does not mean that it should look pretty and have a lot of graphics. What I'm saying is that उस page का performance should be very good. The form and everything should be very very well done. कि वो page पे आए तो आप उससे limited information लो जितनी आपको लेनी है और उतनी information लेके उससे lead generate करो, verify कराओ और फिर उसके बाद वो sales process तो offline ही चलेगी आपके world में. Because आप लोग customized solutions देते होगे most probably.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So customized solution में तो assisted sales है. You can generate the leads online very easily. These two platforms should work for you. Google and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn we are
So,
using very effectively, but I understand LinkedIn. But then we cannot be on.
yeah, there are some. Madhuri, you want to pick more questions? I think I'm done. I've covered the last two
Okay.
slides in the Q&A only.
Okay, fair enough. So I'll have Manish unmute himself and ask his question because he's been there for quite some time waiting his turn.
Yeah.
Manish, why don't you go ahead and ask your question here? You're unmuted, Manish. Manish, you there? I guess Manish isn't there.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Manish, you there?
Yeah, I am audible.
Yes,
Yeah.
loud and clear. Please go ahead and ask your question.
ओके कुछ दो क्वेश्चंस हैं मेरे राणा जी से. तो बेसिकली मैं डॉग फूड फील्ड से ही हूँ. तो पहला क्वेश्चन ये है कि आप पर्टिकुलरली डॉग स्पॉट की बात करें तो एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट पे ही आप फोकस कर रहे हैं. इसके पीछे स्ट्रेटेजी क्या है? मतलब आप बंच ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स लॉन्च क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, लाइक ग्रूमिंग के हो गए?
हाँ, good question, Manish. I got the question.
मेरा सेकंड क्वेश्चन भी आपके प्लीज डिसाइड कंटिन्यू. सेकंड क्वेश्चन मेरा ये है कि जब इनिशियली हम कोई ब्रांड को लॉन्च करते हैं, जैसे आपने अपना डॉग फूड रेडी टू ईट डॉग फूड लॉन्च किया है, मार्केट में बहुत सारे डॉग फूड कॉम्पिटिटर्स भी हैं, तो आपका माइंडसेट क्या रहता है? कैसे आप कंज्यूमर को फोकस करते हैं कि मेरा प्रोडक्ट दूसरे से अलग है? उसके लिए आप क्या करते हैं?
Right.
एंड थर्ड जो क्वेश्चन है, एक और है, सॉरी, एक
go
और क्वेश्चन ये है कि आपने ऑनलाइन एंड ऑफलाइन के बारे में बताया, बट ऑनलाइन में अपने प्रोडक्ट को दूसरे से अलग कैटेगराइज करना
but we used to have 450 products in our own brand. So we used to import from all over the world, USA, Europe, say, and China, say, and then we used to get a lot of products sourced from India also. If you look at pet industry specifically, pet industry is divided in the retail store. Any retail store you pick up, or you pick up any e-commerce store, about 70% of the total sales is only food, and 30% is all other products. So one category versus other, 50 categories, there is a huge difference. So if you want to build a large category, if you want to get into a large category, then it is the food. However, food world, the salient thing is that the consumer never speaks, and consumer is the highest order slave, wherein the customer thinks that he understands everything about the consumer, wherein consumer has never even spoken, will never even speak, and very very difficult to assume, very very easy for people to have a perception about what the consumer is feeling. Now, when we talk about products which are not going inside the consumer, then we are okay, right? So we can do some impulse buying for leash, collars, harness, beds, t-shirts, maybe a bit of shampoo, grooming products. But if you see, all these categories are about, so treats is about 10% of the industry, grooming products around 7, health supplements around 7. So these are small categories, and the market size is not very big, right? We are talking about 5,000 crore rupees market on the higher side for retail products. So 70% जिसमें से केवल food है. So that is where, you know, we thought that if we want to remain in this category and want to, you know, build something large, then food is the right one for us. On the pricing, brand, etc. But for food, people does not move so quickly. So that's why we chose to be in a difficult category, yet a large category. So that answers your question number 1, I guess, Mahesh?
Yes.
Okay. What was the question number 2? You said how to tell people about your product, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we engage with people through social media and our own website also. And then we talk to them, convince them. We talk to them directly. Through the offline world, it is very difficult to get in touch with the consumer. So, you know, we try to get those hooks through social, through doing the sampling, doing the, you know, some way if we are able to get the number of the customers or, you know, their details, then, you know, we get in touch with them directly and do assisted sales. Okay, that is point number 2. I hope that answers.
Yes. Okay.
And third one was, sorry, I forgot.
The third question is, what is the basic of the brand building actually? जब आप initially start करते हैं किसी brand से और कुछ positive reviews आते हैं, कुछ negative आते हैं, तो mindset क्या रखना चाहिए हमें? कैसे उसको carry forward करना चाहिए आगे ले जाते हुए?
हाँ, सो यार हमने क्या किया था, मतलब कैसे करना चाहिए, तो बहुत ही theoretical question answers हो जाएगा, बट मैं आपको exactly बताता हूँ हमने क्या किया था, ठीक है? So, you know, food is a very sensitive category. मतलब dog खाएगा, उसकी तबीयत भी खराब हो सकती है next day. पहली चीज तो कि वो खा रहा है या नहीं खा रहा है, तो दूसरी चीज कि वो तबीयत खराब ना हो जाए. Third thing is that, you know, there should be a repeat behavior that, you know, एक बार खरीदा, अगर वो दूसरी बार नहीं खरीद रहा तो then तो, you know, you're not successful, right? So these are 3 criteria. So what we did is that, you know, we started only with family and friends, and we started stabilizing the product only friends, influencers only. So we work mainly with the influencers in the market, which are, you know, trainers, groomers, boarders, and we try to convince them. What we feel is that we are able to convince them to start using our product on regular basis. Then it will be easier for me to go down the pyramid. Right? So that has been our strategy. Right? Does that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
What was the fourth one? Is there a fourth one also?
It's just a personal question actually. Like Dogspot is a big brand in market. We all know. And जब आप brand building करते हैं, अपना effort देते हैं, कुछ competitors होते हैं जो pricing को आपके company को देते हैं, pricing को देते हैं, and compete करते हैं digital platform पे. उनसे आप कैसे compete करते हैं? आपकी strategy क्या होती है?
So you know, we are very confident about our product. So there are certain customers who has gone to some other brands, tasted it for a month and have come back to us. We don't discount in competition. We do our own discounting, you know, campaign. But to be honest, Manish, I really don't care about competition as far as my product is. I have conviction on my product and we are growing, right? So there will always be a churn. That's a usual practice. People will try everything in the market. And if my product is fitting, then then, and we just make sure that we are working hard enough. Very, very difficult for everyone to consistently keep working hard. And, we should not, we are kind of underdogs in the market, wherein, we always think that, tomorrow can be my last day. So you need to keep working on that. But I understand your question, because, I have been through that cycle of getting worried about competition, doing deep discounting, etc., etc. But yeah, long term mein chalta nahi hai. You need to be confident about your own pricing. Logic should be right. You need to be, sure about your own product, and you need to have that base that मैं इससे नीचे नहीं जाऊंगा. So होता है हमारे साथ कई बार कस्टमर आता है, कहता है कि मुझे कॉम्पिटिटिव ब्रांड इतने इतने का दे रही है, क्या आप इतने का दे दोगे? हम अपनी तरफ से अपना लास्ट बताते हैं, वो टीम को उसी तरह से ट्रेन किया हुआ. तो टका और कम करूंगा उससे मेरा कुछ बन जाए. So that is how you build the brand. You need to stay put and have your grounds clear if you are confident about your product and your pricing.
Sir, one last question. अभी भी आप इतने बड़े लेवल पे डॉगस्पॉट काम करता है, क्या अभी भी आप ऑपरेशंस को देखते हैं, रिव्यू करते हैं पर्सनली?
किसको? कंपटीशन को?
नहीं, अपने ऑपरेशंस को. डॉगस्पॉट जैसे आपने कहा, बार्गेन करते हैं, कस्टमर से डील करते हैं, आप कस्टमर की फीडबैक पर्सनल लेवल पे लेते हैं, उनसे कांटेक्ट करते हैं,
यार
ऑपरेशंस की चीजों को देखते हैं?
रिव्यू कॉल्स होती हैं, और एक एक कस्टमर का रिव्यू, मतलब जहाँ कहीं भी नेगेटिव फीडबैक है वो तो डेफिनेटली रिव्यू में आता ही है. प्राइसिंग अगर मैंने एज ए होल दी हुई है तो रिव्यू में आता है, एंड जहाँ जरूरत पड़ती है लार्ज कस्टमर्स, आई डेफिनेटली गो एंड मीट देम ऑन मंथली बेसिस.
Okay, thank you.
There's a division of the customer: pet homes, large customer sets, special customer sets. So we have different divisions. There are some divisions which I directly take care of.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you so much, Rana. So we've got Sam who has a question. So Sam, why don't you go ahead and ask your question, please?
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Sam. Good afternoon. Mute पे हो आप, Sam.
Sam, you're on mute. I guess we'll go to Hitesh. Hitesh, why don't you go ahead and ask your question here?
Hello, sir. First of all, very thank you for this helpful masterclass. And I have one question, but before that, I would like to give a little bit of context. So maybe you are aware, as you are in the dog food brand, so you are aware of that We Planet dog food, which is in the USA brand. They are into the vegan dog food. So that company now almost from 8 to 10 years, and they are already successful in the USA. So I am working for a company which is an Australian-based company, and they are basically just retailing those We Planet food, and they are selling all over the Australia. So I got connected with them, and I'm working as the digital head. And I got connected somewhere around in 2021, and I started to looking their online thing. So from first month only, I took the sales from 10 to 100 quantity per month. They are not that big, I can say, the retailer or a seller. So I think 10 to 100 per month is like the enough quantity they can handle by themselves. Okay, so after 1 year we are going good. Month on month we can see the progress. So they have started in the second country which they have targeted is the New Zealand. So I started with them in the New Zealand. I started looking the digital thing in the New Zealand. So in the New Zealand also I got almost the same result. Monthly we are like selling somewhere around 50 to 80 products. And when I say the product is basically like then INR, it is somewhere around 3 to 4,000, like the 5 kg or 6 kg bag. Third country they have started is in India. So India we really find very hard to sell because I guess the category awareness, then the product awareness, and so by brainstorming and experimenting a lot of ideas, so we started to target the vegetarians and the Gujaratis and the metropolitan cities, and we have saw the success. But since last 3 months they have stopped selling these products in India due to some of their own internal reasons. But the main problem which I'm finding currently is in the UAE. Since last 6 months, we have started in the UAE. For the first 4 months, the sale is zero. And just little bit context about the audience, the owner who is handling the UAE part. So I got connected with them, and she told me that the audience which are catering in the UAE now is not the people who lives in the Islamic or Muslims people, but basically the foreigners who have came from Australia, New Zealand, and these are the countries. So basically they are living in particular area or the region of the Dubai. So we have to just target them only because they are the owner. They have mostly the dogs and all. Because I even saw the like the number of dogs, the people who like adopted or they are having pet. The mostly there are cats. The second number is on the dogs. So that our audience. And since last 4 months, first 4 months there was a zero sale. From December we started to see some sales when I got the little bit more clarity about the audience and all. But on a monthly basis, right now they're just getting 10 to 20 sales, and it is repeating. So I think mostly they are the ones who already purchased the dog food. So what is the thing that I'm currently missing? Like the audience is asked from the foreigners. So maybe I thought in the starting I have to do a category awareness because they are the first mover for the vegan dog food in UAE, and it is kind of like introducing the vegan into the like UAE. So it's a very big task. But although they said the audience are the Australians and these people, so like what is the thing that I'm missing? I'm not able to find it out just for the UAE country.
What are Tandoori wale papers? Please tell them.
नहीं
Yeah.
तो तीनों ना
I
इसको
think
ज्यादा भाव नहीं देना ना वैसे भी
Hemant, I think you need to mute. Yeah, okay. So हितेश जी, देखो सबसे पहले ना आपको फिगर आउट ये करना पड़ता है कि मार्केट कितना बड़ा है। तो
वो तो
आपको
बहुत छोटा है।
हाँ, तो मतलब सबसे पहली चीज ये देखनी पड़ेगी क्योंकि ना आप देखो इंडिया में हम पेट इंडस्ट्री को ना नीश सेगमेंट बोलते हैं, ठीक है। उसमें नीश में आप कह रहे हो कमर्शियल डॉग फूड जिसका की पेनिट्रेशन मेरे ख्याल से 10% से भी कम है पूरी इंडिया में, ठीक है। उसके बाद आप उसमें कह रहे हो कि मैं वीगन पे जाऊंगा, जिसमें कुछ वीगन लोग ऐसे होंगे कि नहीं ये तो डॉग है, डॉग को डॉग की तरह रखना चाहिए, जो चाहेगा वो खिलाऊंगा। उसमें भी आपको फेनेटिक लोग चाहिए जो कि इतने बड़े वाले वो हों कि वो कहें कि नहीं मैं डॉग को आदमी बना दूंगा, राइट। सो आपको ये फिगर आउट करना है कि आपका मार्केट कितना बड़ा है। तो यूएई में वो मार्केट बहुत ही मिनिस्कुल होगा यार, मतलब यूएई
बहुत छोटा है,
तो सारा टेकन टुगेदर भी यूपी से छोटा ही होगा ना,
छोटा सारा मार्केट ही है।
मतलब नहीं, मतलब वो मार्केट साइज बहुत छोटा है ना यार, कैसे करोगे?
तो मतलब उसमें सक्सेस हो ही नहीं पाएगा, मतलब दैट्स व्हाट वी हैव आल्सो सीन।
मतलब होगा भी तो मतलब बहुत पैसा वैसा डालना पड़ेगा टू रीच आउट द कस्टमर्स एंड टू रियली डू इट, यू नो, इट विल टेक सो मच एफर्ट कि आप सबसे पहले ये फिगर आउट तो कर लो ना कि कितना बड़ा मार्केट बन सकता है वहां पे, उस हिसाब से यू कैन यू नो वर्क बैकवर्ड्स की मेरे को इसमें पैसे लगाने का फायदा भी है या नहीं है। और यू नो इंडिया मार्केट भी अगर आप देखो कि रूल्स ने भी वेजिटेरियन फूड लॉन्च किया था, पेडिग्री ने भी किया था, दिखता तो नहीं है,
नहीं दिखता, काफी मिनिमलिस्टिक मार्केट है। तो मैंने मतलब ये सोचा था कि अब कि टू सेल देम, तो अब ये तो मतलब ऑब्वियसली मार्केट हम लोग ने जब निकाला था आई काफी छोटा मार्केट है बिकॉज वो रीजन ही काफी छोटा है, उस पर्टिकुलर रीजन में ही वो लोग रह रहे हु आर ओनिंग दिस डॉग काइंड ऑफ थिंग। तो दो डिफरेंस मैंने जो जैसा देखा ना, जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में फर्स्ट मंथ से सक्सेसफुल होने का रीजन भी ये था कि दे आर लाइक हैव अदर प्रोडक्ट्स एज वेल लाइक द फूड बैग्स एंड द ओरल केयर किट एंड एवरीथिंग।
सर आपको मैं बताता हूँ हेमंत जी, ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मार्केट यूएई से कहीं बड़ा होगा। आप वहां पे डॉग मार्केट की एनालिसिस करिए, यूरोप का आई थिंक 20 बिलियन डॉलर का मार्केट है, यूएस का 60 बिलियन डॉलर का मार्केट, 70 बिलियन डॉलर का मार्केट होगा यूएस का इस टाइम। 70 बिलियन डॉलर का 70% इज ओनली पेट फूड, आउट ऑफ विच आप कैट्स अलग कर लो, डॉग्स अलग कर लो, तब भी वो इतना बड़ा मार्केट है कि आपने उसमें 0.02% भी किया ना,
को भी कैटर कर दिया तो
तब भी कर दोगे आप। इसी तरह से आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया का आप रेफरेंस निकाल लो, न्यूजीलैंड का पेनिट्रेशन ऑफ पेट इंडस्ट्री देख लो कि कितनी बड़ी पेट इंडस्ट्री में उसमें कितना खेल रहे हो। यूएई में तो यार ओनली फॉरेनर्स कीप डॉग्स, कितने फॉरेनर्स होंगे?
यस यस यस
और आपका कैट फूड भी है या ओनली डॉग फूड है?
नहीं, सिर्फ डॉग फूड है, वेगन डॉग फूड, दैट्स इट।
तो वो वही फाइट है यार, यूएई में ज्यादातर कैट्स हैं।
हाँ, यस।
So you need to be very, very careful with the market size and the demographics and the cultural things before you, start.
या
Don't market it, in the market where कि पहले आपको ये स्टेप लेना पड़ेगा कि ज्यादा लोग डॉग्स रखे हैं। तब तक तो वो जब वो शुरू होएगा तब तक तो कंपनी का पता नहीं क्या होगा, राइट?
ओके, thank you sir, that answers my question, thank you.
Okay, Adhiraj, why don't you go ahead and ask your question? Yeah, you've been waiting for quite some time.
Hello.
Adhiraj, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi,
How
good
are you?
afternoon. Good.
Yeah. Sir, I have this important question. Like, presently, I'm doing my internship, and from last 2 years, I was trying to build a business, but I have failed many of the number of times. The main problem that I'm facing is, right, if I'm not having a team and not having a budget, then how should I make, like, I want to sell a service right now, and the service is regarding four things: data analytics, website, software development, and SEO based content writing. These are the four services. If I want to go into these fields, how do I acquire the customers, or you may say client? Because these four services will mainly focus on B2B types, and if we are it won't be possible for me to go directly to customers for these services. So how is it possible to go to the businesses and ask for these things?
यार आप तो अधिराज खुद ही एसईओ कर रहे हो, तो आपको थोड़ा आइडिया तो होगा ना।
हाँ, एसईओ का आइडिया था, लेकिन जब वो रहता ना, जैसे अगर हम सारे काम एक साथ कर रहे हैं तो हमें टीम की जरूरत पड़ रही है, और वहां पे बजट एक प्रॉब्लम आ जा रहा है। लेकिन अगर हम स्टार्टिंग में जाएंगे उधर पे एसईओ के बेस पे भी, तो कस्टमर कितना हम कन्वर्ट कर पाते हैं, क्योंकि एक तो आ जाता है कि कस्टमर हमारे पास आ रहा है, लेकिन वो हमारे से कन्वर्ट हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, वो पर्सनल बेस पे हो गया। उसके लिए चाहिए हमें एक टीम। तो टीम से फिर वो उसका मेरे एक रिस्क होता है। जैसे हम आप ये मान लीजिए स्किल्स तो है, लेकिन जो बजट के बेसिस पे हम प्रॉब्लम
अभी
पे चले।
अभी आपकी कंपनी में कितने लोग हैं?
अभी जहाँ पे मैं काम कर रहा हूँ वहाँ पे 7 to 8 पीपल्स जाएंगे। टेक्निकल टीम में मैं काम कर रहा हूँ,
यार
फुल
सबको
स्टैक
सेल्स
डेवलपर।
फोकस होना पड़ेगा। एवरीबॉडी नीड्स टू गेट ऑन लिंक्डइन, स्टार्ट पिंगिंग देयर नेटवर्क एंड आस्क फॉर वर्क। मतलब सेल्स ओरिएंटेड बनाना पड़ेगा। अगर आपके पास बजट नहीं है तो, अगर बजट है तो फिर आप गूगल एड्स लगा के और फिर फॉर्म भर के और कुछ कस्टमर्स ले सकते हो और फिर उनके रेफरेंसेस ले सकते हो। अदरवाइज आई थिंक अगर ऑर्गेनिकली करना है कि पैसे खर्च नहीं कर सकते हैं, so you have no other option but to convert everybody to do some kind of a sales effort.
ओके। एंड अगर हमें जैसे कनेक्शंस बनाने, जैसे अभी हम यहाँ पे प्लेटफॉर्म पे आए हैं, तो एक ऐसा पर्सन, जैसे यहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोग हैं, तो हम किसी को पर्सन को नहीं जानते, एज हम स्टार्टर के तौर पे हम लॉन्च करना चाह रहे हैं, लेकिन हमारे पास कोई कनेक्शन नहीं है, तो हम कनेक्शन कन्वर्ट कैसे करें कि हम कनेक्शन बनाए लोगों के साथ, तो हमारे साथ कनेक्ट हो, ताकि उससे पॉसिबल कोलैबोरेशन बने आगे चल के।
Here that happens with you will have to service a few clients maybe at a lower price in the beginning, क्योंकि जो प्राइसिंग होती है सर्विस इंडस्ट्री में वो पब्लिक नहीं होती है इतनी जल्दी ना, अनलाइक प्रोडक्ट कंपनीज कंज्यूमर प्रोडक्ट्स के उसमें। तो कुछ काम करके आपको शोकेस तो करना ही पड़ेगा। देयर इज नो, मतलब मैं इतने लोगों के साथ काम करता हूँ, कुछ लोग हमारे साथ इसलिए काम कर लेते हैं, कम पैसे में कर लेते हैं कि वो
नाम आ जाए उसका,
ये टेस्टिमोनियल आ जाए, थोड़ा वो क्रेडिबिलिटी बन जाए मार्केट का।
ओके।
So that those are some of the things. मेरा एक दोस्त है जो कि कंसल्टिंग कंपनी चलाता है, सिंगल हैंडेडली चलाता है,
ओके।
और वो ये सारी चीजें करता है। उसने धीरे धीरे करके लिंक्डइन पे अपना पेज रोज पोस्ट कर करके खूब इंटरेक्ट कर करके काफी ठीक ठाक लीड्स जनरेट करी हैं थ्रू हिज नेटवर्क ओनली।
ओके, कूल। और इसका मार्केट बेस अगर सर्च किया जाए तो इसका ज्यादा फोकस कहाँ पे रहेगा, यूएस साइड या इंडिया में ही?
सर अभी अधिराज जी, आप जो है मतलब सेल्स करनी है तो सब जगह सेल्स कर दो यार। मतलब यू नीड टू हैव दैट एटीट्यूड टू डू सेल्स, है ना। तो अगर आप यूएस में करना चाहो यूएस में कर लो, लेकिन उसके फिर टाइमिंग्स वगैरह थोड़े डिफरेंट चलते हैं कि आपको रात को करना पड़ेगा जब यूएस जगह हुआ हो। But I think anywhere in the world, even UAE is moving very very fast on the digital side. The US is also very big. उन कंट्रीज में जहाँ पे कि लैंग्वेज प्रॉब्लम है वहाँ पे इशू है, अदरवाइज तो ऑल इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग आर गुड। ओनली थिंग इज दैट टाइम मैच होना चाहिए, बाकी तो आई थिंक सब लोग sales करो यार. There is no other way, I think, for you. There is no trick. I mean, you have to just do sales. मेरे पास कम से कम LinkedIn पे 3-4 inverts तो आ ही जाते हैं sales के every day. Himadri, over to you.
Yeah. So Alex also has a question. So Alex, why don't you go ahead and ask your question, please?
Yeah, Rana, thank you very much, as well as Himadri.
Thanks so much.
Interesting session. So I'm into industrial segment wherein dealing with electricals, automation, as well as software. So we are very good while dealing with buildings, infrastructures, and industries. But the retail space, which we call B2C, is a weaker thing for us, though we started some years back. But there is a limited product line which goes into this, and since our popularity is much more there in industrial space, not there in retail space, which is the homeowners or the masses do not know us much. So if we want to grow there, what are the things which we need to look at? So one is you said couple of things which I have in mind. Some of the things we are already doing, but what else we can do so that in a shorter time we can grow much more, because these are the products online you can sell, but that online would disturb your offline business some of the times. So how you do certain things which would keep a balance as well as you can grow multifolds.
This is hi Alex, and thank you for the appreciation. This is a classic question, which I keep dabbling around with. So just to give you a reference, during the COVID times, all the dog food companies wanted to go online, and I consulted about 5 big companies during that time, and one of the major problem which they were facing was that their products are already selling offline. As soon as they start doing online marketing, they might get a pushback from the customer, the channel, right? So that is challenge number 1. Challenge number 2, which was even more interesting, that even without getting any authorities, lot of distributors and retailers were anyways selling their products. Because it's a consumer focusing product and they wanted to control that market because they were undercutting the market, right? So these 2 problems we dealt with, and problem number 1 is that you need to give an assurance to your digital and to your offline world that the products which you are getting and the margins which you are getting, nobody is going to get same pricing or discounting online, right? So that is one way of looking at getting the trust of the offline world and tell them that we are ourselves doing it, and these are certain measures which we are taking. Also, there are a lot of case studies which will give you conviction that when you do online sales, the offline will move faster. So I have seen that when we go to the retail store, and I have recently started building the offline channel, and we are getting a huge acceptance somehow, which was not there, Alex, about 5 years back when I used to go to the retailers and say that I want to sell my products offline also. They used to say, "Aap to online karte ho, hum nahi karenge aapka product," but not anymore. So that has started changing. They feel that if the company is spending money online in certain categories, offline positive impacts start coming in, and you need to convince your channel. So without convincing, this should not be done. If your product gets very, very famous offline, right, there will be some distributor or the retailer who will start selling online anyways. So you need to protect that, and you need to be in the game. If you will not be in the game, it is just a matter of time. Maybe कुछ लोग कर रहे होंगे, ये वो आके online बेचना शुरू कर देंगे और वो आपके control से बाहर निकल जाता है. So those are some of the things. Now, how to do it is definitely you need to have the website which is more consumer centric, answers consumers. Consumers should be able to look at the products what you have. And when you're saying that homes, then not all product lines will go. So you'll have to identify those products, do a nice website, and enable that you have a consumer facing thing also. And if your brand is not already very, very highly visible in the consumer minds, then you can, create a new brand also, which is for consumers. So उससे आपका जो offline channel है वो ज़्यादा hurt नहीं होता है. So those are, 2-3 things. Third, last is that, on the marketplaces, you can have your brand registry done and you get the right to choose who can sell and who cannot sell. Like, I think there was somebody, I think here, who was from Amazon, who was from Samsung. And that, Samsung के लिए तो ये perpetual problem है कि online भी बेचना है और offline भी बेचना है. And it's a very, very big issue, but they solve it very nicely. तो उनके कुछ product lines, कुछ series of products जो होते हैं वो केवल online के लिए ही होते हैं या केवल offline के लिए ही होते हैं. तो वो same brand को रख के भी उसमें categories बना देते हैं. And they will choose that, कि किसको मैं promote करूँगा, मेरा कौन online retailer होगा जिसको के ऊपर मैं पैसा लगाने के लिए तैयार. तो Amazon वो सारे tools देता है आपको करने के लिए.
So B2C के लिए जो सबसे ज़्यादा important चीज है जो मुझे समझ आ रही है, is it promotion which gives you that mileage, wherein like, so we say that IPL, which is a very, very popular cricket game, right? So there, if you see something coming up, so definitely it would increase your what you say, marketing or promotion, that it goes into the people mind that this company is serious. And वो बोलते हैं हम लोग जो दिखती है वो बिकती है, no? So is that much more important for an industrial company to come into the retail?
Okay, so I'm just assuming that you are from Schneider, right?
Yeah, you got it right.
I love the brand, but I don't get it.
Yeah, you.
So that is the fundamental problem which I face as a consumer for your brand.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Love it.
Tell me.
आप मेरे को Schneider के product दो, आप extra पैसे लो, मैं खरीदूंगा.
Oh wow.
मिलती नहीं है यार. मतलब I will have to go to a particular shop in a particular city to buy it.
Okay.
Right. So अगर आप ढंग से Schneider का ऑनलाइन करेंगे, पहली चीज कि आप ऑफलाइन वैसे ही इतना पैसा खर्च कर रहे होगे कि आपको ऑनलाइन बहुत ज्यादा पुश मारना नहीं पड़ेगा. लेकिन हैविंग सेड दैट, अगर आपका मान लीजिए 100 करोड़ रुपए का बजट आपका मार्केटिंग का है पूरे साल का, जस्ट एज एन एग्जांपल, राइट, आप अगर उसका 1% भी ऑनलाइन खर्च करोगे ना, आपको जो इफेक्ट दिखेगा वो कई गुना दिखेगा. राइट. सो देयर आर टू थिंग्स. One is that the kind of marketing mileage you will get from online presence will be far more bigger. जैसे मैं शुरुआत में एक एग्जांपल दे रहा था कि पेन रिलीफ स्प्रे है, और ये आयोडेक्स एंड मूव, ये सब मिलके अमेज़न पे दबा के पैसा खर्च करते हैं. क्या उनकी ऑनलाइन इतनी सेल्स होगी कि वो ऑफलाइन को बीट कर ही नहीं सकती ना? नहीं कर सकती. वो पैसा भी नहीं बना सकते क्योंकि वो 100 रुपीज, 120, 200 रुपीज का प्रोडक्ट है. क्या पैसा, राइट? लेकिन मतलब वो बॉटम लाइन तो विल नॉट इवन मूव द नीडल ऑफ द, वो जीएम भी नहीं देखता होगा, मतलब वो कहता होगा कर ले यार तू, राइट? सो but they still do it very seriously. Why they do it? Because that the consumer is there. That you need to get that mind space of the consumer, that when he goes on the shop, the top of the mind recall should be move. Top of the mind recall should be Woolini. Right? So if you are a electrical appliance company, and I know that it's a premium brand, I know, आप आ गए आज तो मुझे याद आ गया, मैंने Schneider के प्रोडक्ट्स यूज किए हुए हैं, यानी बहुत अच्छा है. लेकिन मैं दुकान पे जाऊंगा तो मेरे ख्याल से मैं एंकर मांग लूंगा. I know. Right? So वो टॉप ऑफ द माइंड रिकॉल नहीं, मतलब होना बहुत जरूरी है ना. सो उसके लिए योर प्रेजेंस ऑन ऑनलाइन विल हेल्प ट्रेमेंडसली. मतलब आई हैव बीन बाइंग, I spend a lot of time in Dehradun. I have a place there, and I have to buy everything online because where I live there are no good shops. सब कुछ लोकल मिलता है.
नहीं, राणा साहब, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर दिस. मैं चैलेंज लेता हूँ इसको कि दैट आई नीड टू डू दिस फॉर Schneider.
Right. Great, sir. Cool.
Thank you.
So Rana, Sam has a question for you.
Yeah, hi
So
Sam.
Sam, why don't you quickly
Hello, sir.
ask your question?
Yes, sir. I want to know. See, I'm into service industry from past 5-6 years, and I want to know like how can I generate more leads and which platform to use.
What type of service?
Sir, it's wedding-based industry.
Wedding-based industry.
Yes, sir.
शादी
It's a kind of sir photography है तो what I was doing कि मैं सबसे पहले local business use कर रहा था Google का तो it was producing good result मतलब अच्छा genuine leads आ रही थी but somehow मेरा page वो थोड़ा सा affect हो गया तो बंद हो गया. After that I started running ads जो कि मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं मतलब सूट भी नहीं करी और उससे रिजल्ट्स भी नहीं आते. Then after that thirdly I went for vendors. मैं vendors से लीड खरीदता हूँ और वो बहुत ही इफेक्टिव है मतलब स्पेसिफिक लीड्स होती हैं और जिसको शादी करनी है वही आते, कोई बहुत ही फिल्टर्ड क्राउड होता है. तो अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट आई वांट टू ग्रो, तो मैं आपसे सजेशन लेना चाहता हूँ कि मैं किस किस प्लेटफॉर्म्स से लीड्स जनरेट कर सकता हूँ मोर.
Yeah, one of the case, I saw that there is a friend of mine. He used to run a vendor aggregator company for the weddings. मतलब उसके पास वो photographers की भी list थी और सब तरह के लोग थे ना. तो I forgot the name of the company. शादी सागा नाम होगा, Himanshu or somebody like that. Anyways, so he was telling me that they cracked Instagram very, very well.
Okay.
Right. But how do you identify that these are the people whom you need to target? That is some kind of a science.
Very difficult. So for me, Instagram is for my portfolio. अगर मैं Instagram की बात करूँ तो जनरली हमारे लिए क्या होता है, अगर हम एड रन भी करते हैं ना Instagram के लिए तो what Instagram do के ना वो दूसरे फोटोग्राफर्स और दूसरे उनको भी दिखाता है. तो मुझे लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं आ जाती है बट मोर ओवर स्पेसिफिक नहीं होती वो चीजें.
हाँ यार वो थोड़ा फाइट है लेकिन आई थिंक देखो फ्रॉम द डेटा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग तो गूगल को बहुत ज्यादा होगी कि किसकी शादी हो रही है. राइट. सो एक लेकिन प्रॉब्लम ये है कि आप लोकलाइज बिजनेस में ही हो केवल, है ना. लोग एक ज्योग्राफी में ही काम करते होगे आप.
मतलब नहीं सर ऐसा नहीं है, इंटरसिटी भी बहुत बार जाता हूँ, इंटरसिटी वगैरह मतलब काफी करते हैं हम.
राइट. सो आई फील कि यार गूगल तो क्रैक करना ही पड़ेगा. मतलब वो गूगल बिजनेस के ऊपर आपने कितना पैसा खर्च किया है मतलब डेली का?
सर करा था मैंने 3,000-4,000 मैंने मल्टीपल टाइम्स लगाया है बट मुझे से बिल्कुल रिजल्ट नहीं आता. मतलब
कंसिस्टेंटली कितने दिन तक किया है?
सर मैंने 10-15 बार ट्राई करा है, मतलब 2,000-4,000-5,000 रुपए ऐसे लगा के उसमें से मेरे को एक बार भी नहीं आया. और इनफैक्ट मैंने सिर्फ वेंडर को 1 टाइम दिया, उसमें से मेरे को 150-200 लीड्स आती है और वो बहुत ही स्पेसिफिक होती है और उससे कन्वर्ट्स भी हो जाती है.
तो कई बार ना नोट्स फाइंड करने पड़ते हैं कि व्हाट इज दैट थिंग इन द ऑन द चैनल लाइक ऑन इंस्टाग्राम और ऑन फेसबुक मेटा और गूगल दैट दीज आर द कीवर्ड्स. जब कोई ये सर्च कर रहा है तो देन द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ फाइंडिंग ए वेडिंग फोटोग्राफर इज हायर. दैट नीड्स अ वेरी डीप स्टडी एंड इट कम्स फ्रॉम लॉट ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द डेटा. तो अगर आप वो खुद से करने की कोशिश करोगे तो उसमें आएगी प्रॉब्लम. सो यू नीड समबडी.
डिजिटल मार्केटर से ही करवाया था मैंने.
नहीं. सो हियर मी आउट. सो यू नीड समबडी हु अंडरस्टैंड दैट लॉन्ग टेल नोडिंग वेरी वेरी वेल. डिजिटल मार्केटर आपको बहुत सारे मिल जाएंगे, है ना. बट जिसने स्पेसिफिकली यही क्रैक कर रखा हो, जैसे अगर मेरे को किसी को ये बोलना होता है कि यार तुम्हारी मार्केटिंग हम करा देंगे लेकिन प्रोडक्ट की ना सेल इतने से इतनी हो जाएगी. सो आई नो एग्जैक्टली कि इस पर्टिकुलर स्पेस में किस बंदे ने एक्सपीरियंस किया हुआ है और उसको मालूम है कि क्या कीवर्ड यूज होंगे, कहाँ पे यूज होंगे, कैसे 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 इसको प्लान करना है. तो आपकी फील्ड में ना यू नीड टू प्रोबेबली फाइंड समबडी हु हैज बीन इन दिस स्पेस. सो if you want I can connect you with someone who used to run the aggregation platform. That person can tell you.
Sir, I really appreciate that.
आप पिन कर देना. I'll figure out. मेरे को भी याद नहीं आ रहा है but I'll connect you with them.
No worries, sir. Thank you.
Cool. Over to you, Madhuri.
Yeah, Durgesh,
Yeah,
are you
hi.
there? So we'll just take
hi.
the last question, and we've already covered all the questions that people had put in. So Durgesh, why don't you go ahead with your last question?
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Himadri.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much, Rana sir, to be here. Yeah. So hi, I am Durgesh, and I am the founder of a SaaS startup, Supista.com. And what Supista is, it is actually a business intelligence software where you can generate insights and from the data that you are gathering, so that like you can do the data analytics as well as you can do the machine learning and AI part to predict and detect the anomalies of your system inside your whole company. And right now we are targeting the FMCG industry, right? So my question with you, sir, is what is the best approach to find these FMCG people, decision makers specifically, and how to convert that? Because we are very new, so we don't have like the credibility for the people to trust us directly. And there are some big players also in the market. So I would like to get some insights in this.
यार दुर्गेश so देखो it's a kind of a cookie cutter and it is not at the same time and it's very straightforward that you need to generate a lot of leads, right? So lead generation happens through either doing paid marketing or organic marketing using Google and LinkedIn. It's along with that, I think I missed when Sonal was asking me that question, is that you can also start looking at PR. PR you can do yourself, you can hire an agency, and there are various ways to, do your own PR on LinkedIn also. There can be content marketing, there can be, these are 3-4 things which you can do to get leads. Okay. Now the question is that how do we convert? Okay, so only way to do the conversion is to keep practicing the sales. So when you do 10-15 pitches, then you will be able to understand that what is my pitch. So काफी कुछ practice का game है, and you need to, once your pitch is kind of, there is a structure ready in your mind, then you can, sit with, I think more experts would be there at Juno, who can make your pitch more precise, to the point. How to say, what to say when. All those things you need to keep working. But I have seen that, one of the things, fundamental things in sales is that you need to keep doing the same thing again and again and again.
Okay.
सेल्स आप जितनी ज्यादा करते जाओगे उतना आपको एक्सपीरियंस, मतलब सेल्स पिचेस करो ना, सेल्स कन्वर्जन जब होंगे ना तो आपको पता लग जाएगा कि मेरे पिच में ना ये सही था. So you keep changing the pitch and keep, discussing the pitch with the experts like probably me and Himadri can probably guide you more, at Juno. But it's a very tedious process and it is very difficult for techies or, entrepreneurs who, come from the product or product creation background. It was very hard for me too. And it is very tedious. You need to go and, meet people and, keep pitching. And one day you will realize that now my pitch is right. And now I have confidence. Now I know all the answers to all the questions that they are saying. And then there will be a tipping point where, you will be able to, make some convergence. And एक conversion होता है, उसके बाद तो यार पता लग जाता है कि कैसे हो रहा है. And उसके बाद वो cycle चलने लगती है. Is there a clear-cut recipe to it? To be honest, no. It needs huge change. मतलब that mindset of sales, वो digital से आपके lead भी आ जाएंगी. उसको convert करने का जो आप पूछ रहे हो ना, that is very specific to the organization, your personality, your team's personality. DNA का game है मतलब.
Okay. Sir, there is one more question, that how to find that decision maker in the company, because there are so many different people, managers are also there, but most of the time managers won't buy a software, right?
हाँ यार, आपको तो IT लोगों से बात करनी पड़ेगी ना.
Yeah, either IT, but inside the FMCG, I don't think there are a lot of people who are into IT, sir.
नहीं IT होता है यार. Largest FMCG companies में ERP होता है ना. तो IT होता है.
Okay, but sir, large FMCG companies जो है ना, वहाँ पे एक problem ये है कि they are already using some kind of BI, like from the Microsoft or the Tableau BI, they are already using. Yes. So like we can only target those people who are not using currently. So these guys are like in the middle of the, yes.
हाँ, so आपको basically use करना पड़ेगा कि मतलब you need to get to the founder only.
Okay, right.
Best तरीका तो वही है यार. छोटी कंपनी
And the best way to
IT.
and the best way to outreach such founders are via LinkedIn, right?
LinkedIn.
Okay.
LinkedIn events also. You need to probably find out कि FMCG का कहीं कुछ event हो रहा हो, वहाँ पे जाके you can meet one to one and do some networking.
Okay, sure.
हाँ, सेल्स की ना काफी सारी ट्रिक्स एंड वो होती हैं. आई थिंक वो जूनो विल बी इन बेटर फॉर्म टू टेल यू, बट वो फॉर्म्स वगैरह सारी जब आपको ट्रिक्स एंड ट्रिप्स ये सब पता लग जाते हैं ना, उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करते करते जब आप प्रैक्टिस करते हो तब वो कहीं जाके वैल्यू ऐड करता है. हाँ, तो पहला चीज तो ये है कि यार वो करते रहना पड़ता है. मतलब आई डिड अबाउट 20 पिचेस, उसके बाद मैं कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ मेरी पिच ठीक है.
ओके, वाओ.
मतलब मैं B2B डॉग फूड सेल्स की बात बता रहा हूँ कि क्या क्वेश्चन पूछना है, वो क्वेश्चन पूछ के अपना जो पिच होगी वो कैसे कैसे मोल्ड करनी है, राइट. सो वो पहले जाके आई गेट इनटू द क्वेश्चन मोड, ट्राई टू गैदर सम दिस थिंग. देयर इज वन बुक आई रेड, आई फॉरगॉट द नेम, सेल्स स्ट्रेटजी करके एक किताब है. कुछ लोग हैं, आई थिंक नील so there are certain strategies which you can look at, major account sales strategy. So there is this guy called Neil Rackman. Okay, try to see if you can get hold of this book, or इसके courses भी है. मतलब courses वगैरह तो कोई फायदा नहीं है करने का, but there is a theory he gives that how to go for enterprise sales specifically.
Right.
Enterprise sales में नील रैकमैन की थ्योरीज काफी काम आती हैं. I think Himadri, am I taking over Juno?
Not at all. In fact, we talk about the spin selling, which is again by Neil Rackham in one of our.
Yeah, spin selling. Right.
Yeah.
काफी सही है. मतलब नील रैकमैन का जो ज्ञान है स्पिन सेलिंग का, काफी काम आता है.
Okay, perfect. So I will have a look at it, and thank you so much for your insights.
Cool. But nothing beats practice. I mean, वो नील रैकमैन जो भी बोल दे, वो जब तक
right.
Okay, Rana, I think, thank you so much. And we're really grateful that you addressed all the questions that most of our learners had. And all of these are questions that we all struggle with in the practical space when you're trying to build up a business, or you're trying to struggle whether you go online, offline. So thank you so much for getting time for us, for Juno community. And thank you to all the participants for being a lovely audience. So let's connect next Saturday, 12 o'clock sharp. I put in the link wherein you can click on that and add the certificate of this masterclass on your LinkedIn profiles. Thank you so much. Stay connected.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.